Hell no to the no.
If there's one discussion regarding the sequel trilogy that fans have a lot of these days, it's how the character of Finn was underutilized given his compelling backstory as a renegade stormtrooper. Yet there's one take that seems to pop up now and again, the argument being that The Last Jedi was the only film to do Finn justice and give him character nuance where he had none. Now, this is an interesting take, considering John Boyega himself had gone on record multiple times to voice his disagreement with The Last Jedi in terms of Finn's arc. The first time being how John disagreed with the creative choices regarding his character of Finn in The Last Jedi, and the second time was John revealing that Finn was sidelined in The Last Jedi due to a reordered character hierarchy that was put into place by Disney because he was black. Yet, still, there are fans who claim that The Last Jedi was the only film to do Finn right.
And they could... I can't feel my teeth.
Even given the context of Finn's sidelining. I disagree with this, for the simple reason that I don't think Rian Johnson understood the character of Finn, and I don't think he was interested in his story from The Force Awakens. Rather, he was more concerned with how he could utilize Finn in his story of The Last Jedi. Now, that's not me saying that Finn in The Force Awakens was perfect. Even as someone who subjectively enjoys The Force Awakens a lot, it could have done more to explore the concept of a renegade stormtrooper. Given the further context of knowing that Finn was indeed force sensitive the entire trilogy.
Didn't end up getting to say it. Are we meant to believe that Finn is a Jedi, or is it an implication that that there are more force sensitive people out there than we realize?
Yeah, I don't know specifically because I don't know specifically if he is a Jedi. It just seems to me so much of Finn's life is a mystery in that sense. But I think definitely the main thing is that he's definitely force sensitive and was always strong in the force for a long time. The previous draft, it was actually a conversation between Rey and Finn. They actually talked it out. There was a scene where Rey already knew, like he had stopped her in the Falcon and was gonna let her know that he had the force. He had felt it ever since he left the First Order. Like that energy, that was the motivating factor, and he's known it for a very long time. And Rey, in that scene, Rey stopped him and said, Finn, I knew for a long time, like since the moment I met you, that you were strong with the force. I knew there was something about you. Maybe that would be, I don't even know if that's in the, did we even film? Yeah, we did film that.
Oh, so did you guys shoot that?
Yeah, I think we did. I can't remember. I think we did. But it was definitely like it was on the scripts, where there was a conversation, and Rey had already kind of knew. But I guess maybe in chopping down time, getting straight to the point.
The Force Awakens could have utilized this connection to the Force more. Yet, for any shortcomings The Force Awakens has for Finn in regards to the renegade stormtrooper turned force-sensitive hero, The Last Jedi drops the ball rather hard just in the context of Finn being a former stormtrooper, not even putting his connections to the Force in the equation. In The Force Awakens, Finn goes rogue from the First Order, not because he's against violence, but because of the slaughter of innocent civilians. He joins the fight against the First Order, not to join a cause, but because another civilian, Rey, was in danger. Not only is centering Finn's moral compass on the lives of civilians like Rey an incredibly nuanced concept for a stormtrooper, but it's also understanding that centering Finn's arc around joining a cause is tone deaf to his traumatic past as a slave soldier. Centering Finn's willingness to fight against the First Order based on his feelings for Rey and his compassion for innocent civilians perfectly makes sense for who the character of Finn is, while also providing an internal consistent reason for Finn to help the Resistance despite his upbringing. Where The Last Jedi goes wrong with Finn is that this introspection and nuance from Finn in The Force Awakens is entirely missing from The Last Jedi.
You don't know a thing about me. Where I'm from, what I've seen. You don't know the First Order like I do. I'm a stormtrooper. Like all of them, I was taken from a family I'll never know and raised to do one thing. But my first battle, I made a choice. I wasn't gonna kill for them. You looked at me like no one ever had. I was ashamed of what I was. But I'm done with the First Order. I'm never going back.
Finn's feelings and opinions in general are missing from his arc in The Last Jedi, but there's also moments of glaring ignorance and apathy for his backstory. Finn, the former slave, does not show or voice any concern for the slave children of Canto Bight. Finn, someone who very much knows the horrors of war and the First Order, is lectured on 2 different occasions by Rose and DJ about the horrors of war, while also providing no insight or opinions into his own more knowledgeable experiences with war, morality, and the First Order. Then, there is also the fact that for a story that is praised for its exploration of trauma regarding the conflict and feelings of betrayal between Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren, Finn's own trauma, the trauma that had been caused by a lifetime of enslavement by the First Order and also by Kylo Ren himself, is completely ignored. Likewise, no matter what the argument is used, regardless if The Force Awakens confirms Finn to be a Jedi or not, The Last Jedi takes the character who had been the driving force of TFA, no pun intended, and throws him into a passive role subplot. The only mention to Finn's past as a stormtrooper in the entire film of The Last Jedi is one offhanded comment of Finn knowing about the tracking device and the supremacy, even though a few scenes ago, Finn said tracking was impossible. And the second instance is Holo discrediting Finn to Poe because he was a stormtrooper, even though this was the stormtrooper who was the giant aide in destroying Starkiller Base just, a couple hours ago, a day ago, in the context of The Force Awakens into The Last Jedi. This brings me to the missed opportunity of Finn's arc in The Last Jedi. Even if The Last Jedi didn't want to explore Finn's connection to the Force, you have a stormtrooper within the ranks of the Resistance. There are so many concepts you can explore about how the Resistance, the New Republic, would react to having to be around a stormtrooper, an enemy they were raised to kill. You have Poe, the man who killed Finn's comrade Slip, a moment that kickstarted Finn's entire arc in The Force Awakens right there. You have Leia, someone whose son is literally the narrative foil of Finn. Whereas Finn was raised to be evil, he chose to be good. While Kylo was raised to be good, he chose to be evil. Leia even went out of her way to commend Finn for his bravery in The Force Awakens. There are so many conversations Finn and Leia could have. Even in the context of Canto Bight, Finn could want to save the slave children, yet also be conflicted because the only way to get them to safety would be to risk the lives of the Resistance by deviating time. You would have this moral dilemma of Finn having to weigh the lives of the people who do want to help civilians with the current lives of civilians in danger at the moment. You would literally be putting the conflict of trying to save the Resistance, of trying to save Rey, right in front of the conflict of trying to save former slaves like Finn. Or even in regards to DJ's lesson of there being no good guys or bad, Finn could even call him out on this, like he called out Maz in The Force Awakens, voicing his disgust and anger that DJ would even say this due to his own past as a slave soldier to the First Order, claiming that regardless of the flaws of the New Republic or the Resistance, they don't kidnap kids, they don't kill planets. The New Republic itself could be something of an interesting concept to explore with Finn. How does Finn feel about the government that claims to care about the people, to care about the galaxy, yet did nothing to save all the slave children the First Order had taken from their families? How does Finn feel about having to fight his fellow stormtroopers? How does he feel about aiding the Resistance, a group of people who care nothing about the slave children and have nothing but contempt for stormtroopers and only tolerate him personally due to his own assistance in saving their lives, a concept that not even The Force Awakens explored? Does Finn want to find his family? Does he even think they are alive? Does he resent the fact that no one in the galaxy seemed to even care about the victims of war like himself, and instead only cared about which faction got to be on top and ignore the common people? These are all concepts that have nothing to do with the Force or Rey, yet everything to do with who Finn is as a character who was taken away from his family at a young age and enslaved by the First Order and had to save himself due to the New Republic, the Resistance, doing nothing for the victims of war. The fact that Finn's arc is centered around depicting him as self-centered for not wanting to join the Resistance and framing his eventual choice to join them around saving some space horses and a boss battle with Phasma, a character who has no arc, no screen presence, and is only in the film to literally die, that offers no introspection or progression for Finn in comparison to his arc in The Force Awakens, isn't just insulting, it's an entire misunderstanding of Finn as a character and also an empathy gap to an actual victim of war within the story of the sequel trilogy. I'm not saying The Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker, or even Duel of the Fates couldn't have done more for Finn. What I'm saying is that The Last Jedi did nothing for Finn, and that Rian Johnson didn't understand Finn as a character. Well, my friends, it looks like our time is at an end. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, how about you smash that like button? And if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe to the channel because I upload multiple times a week. Let me know your thought on Finn and The Last Jedi in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm open for discussion, even if I personally disagree with The Last Jedi. I'm not gonna be one of those people that just, strawmans it. I'm willing to have a debate. Now, for you lovely people who are waiting for my Finn and Rey video very patiently, it is almost done. It's got 10 more minutes left. I will probably have it online by Tuesday. As for people who are waiting for my next installment of my sequel trilogy rewrite, I'm almost done with that. I should probably start pumping that out in 2 weeks. As always, I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and may the Force be with you.